this video, we're going to talk about another way of factoring. We've learned grouping, we've learned GCF. This is factoring trinomials. We're going to do this the similar way that we do grouping. This trinomial, x squared plus 7x plus 10, is a trinomial because it's in this form, ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is a positive 1, b is a positive 7, and c is a positive 10. The first step in finding the factors is to do a times c. 1 times 10 is 10. The next part, which is the harder part, is finding two integers, and that means positive or negative whole numbers, that multiply to get 10, but also add to get the b value, which was 7. So the factors of 10, let's talk about these. So the numbers that multiply to get 10 are 10 and 1, 5 and 2, negative 10 and negative 1, and that could be important later on when we get harder examples with either negative numbers and such that, or negative 5 times negative 2. But at the same time, which ones add to get our b value of a positive 7? And that is right here, 5 and 2, multiply to get 10, but also add to get 7. So we got our factors of a positive 5 and a positive 2. Let's look at our next step. After we get the two factors, now it's very similar to the grouping part. Our original problem started out as x squared plus 7x plus 10. The third step, after we found the two numbers that multiply to get 10, but add to get 7, we're going to rewrite the middle terms. We're going to rewrite this plus 7 as the sum of the two numbers that we found, the 5 and 2. X squared, but instead of plus 7x, I'm going to rewrite it as 2x plus 5x. Instead of 7x, I wrote it as 2x plus 5x. Again, we're doing that because those are the two numbers that we found that added to get 7, but multiplied to get 10. And by doing that, by rewriting 7 as 2x plus 5x, we can now solve this by grouping because it is a polynomial with 4 terms, and you guys have done this plenty of times last time. We can draw our line down the middle and find our GCF of each, and that's the last step here, factor by grouping. So I'm going to take out an x here, and I'm left with x plus 2, and I'm going to take out a 5 on the right binomial to also end up with x plus 2. And then I write my final answer as x plus 2, x plus 5. Again, same part, same step from grouping from there below, but the only difference is up here where we had to find the two factors that added to get the b, multiplied to get the c value, and we rewrote them in terms of the grouping method. Let's do another example. Okay, on the back, same process that we're going to go through. This trinomial, we need to identify the a, the b, and the c first. Next step, we multiply a times c, and this is our new c value. Well, I guess it's the same, but in another video, we'll have a new c value. So we want to find numbers that multiply to get that number, but at the same time, add to get our b value of negative 13. And here's where the integers come into play. Let's think about factors of 36. Of course, we got 36 in 1. We can do 18 times 2. We can do 6 times 6. We can do 9 times 4. We can also do the negatives of those. Negative 36 times negative 1. Negative 18 times negative 2. Negative 6 times negative 6. And negative 9 times negative 4. Which one of these multiplication factors adds to get 13. And that looks like it is this one right here. So negative 9 plus negative 4 adds to get to negative 13. So write those factors on the side, the negative 9 and the negative 4. Those are the important factors for this problem at the bottom. Let me scroll down. Here is the next part. We're going to rewrite negative 13x. So let me color code this so I can show you. We're going to rewrite negative 13x as the sum of the two factors of negative 9 and negative 4. Let's write that down. So we got x squared. Instead of negative 13x, I'm going to write negative 9x and a negative 4x plus 36. And for right now, it doesn't really matter what order we do in. Now we have to do the grouping part. X squared minus 9x. I'm going to write a minus 4x here because a plus negative means a subtraction sign. Drawing our line down the middle, right there. Let's do our GCFs. The GCF of this first binomial is just x, and we're left with an x minus 9. The GCF over here, in order to end up with an x minus 9, needs to be a negative 4. Dividing both by negative 4, we get that binomial there. And then we write the final answer as a combination of the two GCFs, x and then a negative 4. And then we write x minus 9 once out of those two factors. And there you go, your final answer. You can always check your work by distribution, just like we've done plenty of times before. So we get x squared minus 9x, and then under we get negative 4x plus 36. Combining like terms, we do end up with the trinomial we started with in the beginning, so we know these factors are correct. Write down the questions you have on factoring these trinomials, and have a great night.